You know what I mean when I say the godfather, right? Well, get ready to hear about the godmother of cocaine. She is Griselda Blanco.
In the hazy heat of a Colombian summer, where the jungles whispered secrets and the mountains held their breath, a legend was born. Griselda Blanco, known as La Madrina, or the Black Widow, would go on to become one of the most feared and notorious female criminals in the annals of history. She went on to become the richest female criminal for years to come, and her iron hold over the criminal world lived on years after Blanco herself did. Griselda Blanco's journey into the criminal underworld began in the impoverished streets of Cartagena, Colombia. Born on February 15, 1943, in the slums, she witnessed poverty's brutal grip on her life from an early age. Poverty, with its cruel grip, had a way of shaping destinies, and for Griselda, it was a catalyst for her transformation into the Black Widow. From her earliest memories, Griselda was a survivor. Her father, a violent alcoholic, met an untimely end when she was just 3 years old. As if foreshadowing her future, Griselda's life was marred by tragedy. Her mother, an impoverished prostitute, struggled to provide for her, forcing Griselda to resort to petty theft to fill her belly. The gritty streets of Cartagena were her training ground. It was here that she honed her craft, mastering the art of manipulation and deception. Her charisma masked the cold, calculating mind beneath, a mind that would one day control a criminal empire. As Griselda blossomed into a young woman, she saw opportunities beyond the Colombian slums. She was drawn to the tantalizing world of drug trafficking, where mountains of white powder could turn into mountains of cash. The 1970s marked the beginning of her meteoric rise to power. Griselda Blanco's association with the notorious Medellin cartel catapulted her into the heart of the drug trade. She was a key player in the cartel's operations, ruthlessly clawing her way to the top. With a shrewd mind and a taste for violence, she became a formidable force. Her signature move was to hire hitmen on motorcycles, earning her the nickname La Viuda Negra, or the Black Widow. In the darkness of the Colombian night, Griselda's empire thrived. She pioneered innovative drug smuggling techniques, including the use of couriers known as mules, who ingested cocaine capsules and transported them across borders. Her creativity knew no bounds, as she even designed lingerie with hidden compartments to ferry her illicit cargo. Blanco relocated to Miami by the late 1970s, where she established herself as the godmother of cocaine. She demonstrated a brazen ruthlessness in an effort to crush her rivals, and as a result, the city descended into the cocaine cowboy wars, a period of turmoil and turbulence. She's been accused of ordering a large number of killings, many of which were carried out by shooters on motorbikes, an approach she is alleged to have created. A number of the murders also happened during the day, including a shootout that took place in a nearby mall in 1979. Blanco rose to prominence as one of the richest cocaine traffickers in the world, thanks to such violence and astute cunning. She allegedly brought more than 3 tons of cocaine into the country each year, earning her almost $80 million each month. In particular, Blanco named one of her boys Michael Corleone, after a mob figure from the Godfather film series, embracing her criminal identity. She also led an opulent lifestyle that included hedonistic parties and opulent residences. Ultimately, it was the partnership with the enigmatic Pablo Escobar that truly propelled Griselda to infamy. Together, they ruled the drug world with an iron fist. Her criminal reign extended from Miami to New York, where her operations said to be responsible for smuggling over 300 tons of cocaine into the United States. Griselda's wasn't just a legacy, it was a bloody legacy. Griselda Blanco's ascent to power was marked by a trail of bloodshed and violence. Her ruthlessness knew no bounds, as she eliminated rivals, double-crossed associates, and orchestrated gruesome murders. She was not a woman to be trifled with. One of her most chilling acts was ordering the assassination of a 3-year-old boy. Her brutal reasoning? She believed the child's father had betrayed her. Such brutality shocked even those hardened by the world of crime. Griselda Blanco's lust for power and wealth was insatiable, and she stopped at nothing to maintain her dominance. Her preferred method of execution was a hitman on a motorcycle, a faceless specter of death that struck fear into the hearts of her enemies. Her willingness to unleash violence became her calling card, solidifying her reputation as one of the deadliest criminals in history. Next came her fall from grace. Griselda Blanco's extravagant lifestyle was a stark contrast to her impoverished beginnings. She lived in opulent mansions, surrounded by luxury and wealth. However, the trappings of power often breed hubris, and her empire began to crumble from within. In 1984, Blanco relocated to California after being targeted by enemies and running for her life. The law enforcement agencies, particularly the DEA, were hot on her trail. Her extravagant lifestyle drew unwanted attention, and wiretaps and surveillance began to tighten the noose around her empire. In 1985, after years of evading capture, Griselda Blanco was finally arrested in Irvine, California. She was taken to New York and arrested the next year to answer to the 1975 narcotics accusations. She was found guilty in 1985 and given the maximum punishment of 15 years in prison, yet it is said that she managed to run her business while behind bars. Her arrest was a major coup for law enforcement agencies. The trial that followed was a spectacle, drawing the attention of the public and media worldwide. Griselda Blanco's life and crimes were laid bare for all to see. Officials attempted to bring new charges against Blanco, who was connected to more than 200 homicides at this time. In 1994, Blanco was accused of 3 killings, including the shooting death of a former enforcer's 2-year-old kid, who was slain during an unsuccessful attempt on his father's life. This was after one of Blanco's hitmen, Jorge Ayala, volunteered to testify against her. The prosecution was seeking the death penalty, but Ayala's credibility was damaged when it came out that he had been engaging in phone sex with secretaries working for the prosecutor. One of the women said that she was carrying out the prosecutor's instructions, but the prosecutor disputed the claims. In short, even in prison, Griselda Blanco remained an enigma. She continued to exert influence within the criminal world, even orchestrating murders from behind bars. Her mastery of the criminal game was unwavering, even in captivity. Griselda Blanco's life became the stuff of legends, inspiring books, movies, and television series. She was portrayed as a ruthless, calculating, and utterly compelling figure, a modern-day Medusa who could turn men to stone with a single glance. Her story captured the public's imagination, cementing her place in the annals of criminal history. Blanco eventually entered a guilty plea in 1998 in exchange for a lighter sentence. 6 years later, she was freed and deported to Colombia. Blanco supposedly gave up on a life of crime, but in 2012, everything changed. Released from prison and deported to Colombia, she found herself once again on the streets that had shaped her, but she was not content to fade into obscurity. On September 3, 2012, as she left a butcher shop in Medellin, Griselda Blanco met her fate. A lone gunman approached on a motorcycle, just as she had ordered so many times before. In a flash of violence, she was shot dead, her life extinguished by the very methods she had employed to instill fear in others. With the sound of that gunshot, Griselda Blanco's criminal empire was dismantled, but her legacy lived on. With her death, her chapter of the Black Widow was finally closed. Griselda Blanco's life had been a dark and twisted journey from the slums of Cartagena to the heights of the criminal underworld. Her story was one of ambition, ruthlessness, and a relentless pursuit of power and wealth. Griselda Blanco, the Black Widow, remains a chilling reminder of the depths to which human ambition can plunge. From a poverty-stricken childhood to the pinnacle of the drug trade, her life was a testament to the seductive allure of criminality. Her story is not one of heroism or redemption, but of unbridled ambition and the devastating consequences it can have. Griselda Blanco's life serves as a stark warning, a dark tale that continues to captivate the public's imagination. She was the richest female criminal, a title she earned through a lifetime of violence, cunning, and ruthlessness. In her web of crime, she ensnared the hearts and minds of those who crossed her path, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of criminal history.